You're enjoying the Pecan Pie Productions Cinema Pre-Show.
I've been playing guitar probably since I was about 13. I was in middle school and my parents got me a guitar for Christmas, or maybe it was Santa Claus. Santa Claus and my parents got me a guitar for Christmas. I was in band, had a great band teacher. He showed me a few things and just kind of stuck with it and ended up getting my bachelor's degree in music and guitar. I had worked in the music industry for a long time. The idea kind of came from working in corporate America and constantly saying, I think I could do this in a better way. Honestly, it wasn't until I found out about the e-community loan that it was something that I thought I could do.
I kind of just wanted a local place for people to go and get some regional, local products. The coffee is from Kansas City, the alcohol, a lot of it from McCormick over in Weston. Here in Atchison, we have our Till and George Remus, which I love those products. I've always loved mixology and doing bartending type deals, so I kind of wanted that to be a big part of this place too. I came into this spot and, you know, none of these walls were here. You have to figure out exactly where you want walls and where you want this equipment and that equipment. My mom was actually vital in that process and telling me, you know, it's gonna be okay. I'm not a visionary, so it's really hard to picture it. Once it started going up, then I'm like, okay, I feel a little bit better now.
At its most basic level, the Atchison e-community program exists to try and support and grow the culture of entrepreneurship in our community. And the way that it does that is providing gap financing. Sometimes somebody will have an idea, they go to the bank and the bank says, that's not quite enough money down for us, or we're not comfortable with that. And what this program can do is it can fill that gap, and it can provide financing that actually provides a better interest rate than the bank. Our local banks like it because it gives them more security and diversifies their risk. The city likes it because it gives us more small businesses, and of course the small business likes it because it allows them to actually start up and grow their business. This loan fund can be used for startups, expansions, and acquisitions. It can be used to hire staff. It can be used to acquire a building, put a new roof on a building that you already own. It can be any kind of business. It could be a brewery, it could be a carpet cleaning shop, it could be a residential contractor, it could be a video service. This is the fewest restrictions of any small business loan fund that exists anywhere in the country.
The hardest part about opening a retail business is having the money for the inventory, and especially in the music industry, most companies have, you know, for lack of a better term, a buy-in where you have to buy a certain amount. To have a store where you could actually have a lot of product on the wall is going to take quite a bit of money to do it. And that's kind of where the e-community loan came in. It was something that they could fund it up front.
A lot of big cities play home run style economic development. They go after the big companies, they give them big tax breaks. In our situation, we don't think that's a recipe for success. So we've used the baseball analogy. How did the Kansas City Royals win the World Series a couple years ago? They played small ball. It was about on-base percentage, it was about putting the ball in play. So we think that by playing economic development that way here and hitting a bunch of singles and providing this locally controlled gap financing money, that we can be successful with economic development that way instead of hoping for the 3-run homer every time.
The loan process itself was so much more simplified than anything out there with like the Small Business Administration. They just made it so easy. At the end of it, I was like, that's it? Really? Are you sure you don't need a blood sample or a family tree or something like that?
I think even just encouragement helps a ton when you're doing something and you're trying to think, oh, is this gonna work? Is this not gonna work? And having people behind you, it helps a lot.
If you don't have reinvestment in your housing stock, in your business community, in infrastructure, in any of those facets of your community, if you don't see reinvestment, if you don't see new things happening, then you're just falling further behind.
I just like that spirit. Why complain about where you live? Let's make it better and let's do things to make it a great place to be.
like so nice, and that period is my
Dude, if the
definitely
bottom half
best
went bad,
subject.
then any engine from
It's a
7 to
speech
83 will
expression
fit.
thing.
We
I
thought
really
this
should
king
Later
when he
cars
was
will have
about
fuel injection, so
whatever.
you have to do all the wiring
Thinking of
parts
how
and
to kind
cars
of
that
are
have
the
more.
best
seem
for
lonely
me
and out of
So much
sorts.
turbo.
There's still time before the movie starts to visit the concession counter and enjoy an ice-cold beverage, buttery popcorn, or other treats. Tell them the man in the movies sent you.
The mission of the Chamber of Commerce is to foster the prosperity of Atchison, local businesses, organizations, and make it a great place to live, work, play, and raise a family.
Being a city commissioner, there's a lot of things that you recognize that government doesn't really play a role in that fix. Like there's problems and we need solutions, but it can't always be the city that's rushing to put out that fire. The Chamber does a great job involving the business community, a lot of times nonprofit communities, to where we can all work together and kind of fix what needs to be fixed, find solutions, experiment, and come out with a better outcome for Atchison.
So being in the Chamber of Commerce, I just feel like I'm much more in the know. I know what's going on. I get newsletters monthly. And ever since I joined, I'm now part of a lot of subcommittees and different groups that I didn't even know existed. I found that to be really helpful, just being a part of the tourism group and the retailers group that meets once a month, just to kind of get together and talk about what's going on.
So my wife and I initially moved here 2.5 years ago for work.
We were excited to come to a small community, but a community that had resources and was young and developing. And you look at our population of 20 and 30 and 40 somethings are trying to just renew things and change things, but as well as pay a lot of homage and just attention to the things that have been and preserve that precedent that sit before us from older generations before us. And we want to really just honor that, and as well as continue to build on that. For that, we see Atchison thriving, from a new hospital through a new movie theater, through Benedictine College growing and expanding. Those people that are involved with those organizations are just driving development here.
So the Chamber has done a really good job of keeping our community active and always having something going on. I mean, there's the big events like Amelia Fest, the Muddy River Festival, and they're always doing volunteer efforts like cleanup days.
It's things like the bike exchange, the disc golf course. All these things that are going in through the Chamber are really huge for just keeping Atchison active and bringing other people into the community that aren't even from here, that are coming to those attractions and being involved.
The Chamber isn't some scary place to get you to volunteer. They're there to help you just as much as you are to help them, you know? So it's just a team effort, and the more that you put in, the more you're gonna get out. The more you volunteer, the more you help out, the better they're gonna know you, and then they're gonna send people your way.
That's what Atchison does, is it brings the right people to the table at the right time to be able to make sure that people know that they have a support system, and it's not just an idea, it's really tangible.
For the most part, our pre-show features local independent businesses that employ your neighbors, friends, and families. And we should all be supporting each other in this community. We encourage you to visit these businesses and tell them you saw them at the movies. If you or someone you know owns a business and would like to be featured in our pre-show, please call us toll-free at 888-990-8777. Email us at info@pecanpieproductions.com or visit us at www.pecanpieproductions.com. Welcome to Fox Theatre Atchison, the best independently owned and locally operated theater in the country. We're glad you're here. In order for those around you to enjoy the cinema environment, please silence or turn off your cell phone now. This is a cell-free zone.